Hello, we are on day 13, Talk Through the Pain as we walk through the healing. And today's topic is emotional pain. And preparing for this video has actually been harder than most for various reasons of, really thinking through my own life and how God has shown up in all the different areas of pain for me. But this one is interesting because I think at times we can all do this to ourselves, and that is nostalgia. I think that is such a powerful thing, but it is not always to be trusted. Sometimes we can romanticize situations because we've had so much time to remove ourselves from it that we don't see the pain anymore or the day-to-day struggle or whatever. People say that of women that have children, that birth children, that there's that romanticizing, I want another baby, and they forget all the day-to-day stuff or that last bit of pain, but nothing can be birthed without pain. So remember that as we talk today. So emotional pain, so this is something I have had pain in before. I miss my old job, my old home, my friends that were nearby, my life from this place so long ago. We're talking about grieving in the terms of moving. Moving can really stir up a lot of grief for us because we are completely leaving behind our way of life, going somewhere new. And for us, it was from California to Virginia. But in California, we've moved from our home city to about 2.5 hours away to the coast. So from Bakersfield, we moved to San Luis Obispo. And then after about 7.5 years, we ended up moving to Fresno, California, and then back to Bakersfield, and then on here to Chesapeake, Virginia. So we have moved. But even in moving homes, like that can cause grief as well. So I just wanted you to keep that in mind as we continue to talk. So how I'd like God to heal me. I would like to understand that all of that has brought me to where I am today, and I am the person I am today because of those types of losses of moving and obeying the Lord in our moves. So how I see God in the midst of my pain is, in every move we knew God had said move. So we are obedient. We live our lives, palms up. Wherever you send me, Lord, I will go. So we have moved a variety of times that other people may have thought was ridiculous. We've had people tell us that they thought we were pushed out, and we were like, no, the Lord spoke to us and we moved. And then I wrote how I see God in the midst of my pain. Relationships that last. Like I am so grateful for the season that we had in at the coast in California. I really needed friends. Dale and I needed friends, good, solid friends. Now we did have some that sustained all of our moves from Bakersfield and on, but I felt like when we entered that season of our life, it was obvious to us that we needed to heal relationally. And I feel like that is where I learned to be a good friend, how to be a good friend. And so we have quite a few really long-standing relationships from that season of our life. I feel like moves like this grow me up. It also gives me compassion and empathy for other people. I know this is also where I see God in the midst of my pain, is I know I'm exactly where He has me. I know that. And I can thank God for that and acknowledge that this is a change in my life. But I really I really do see that God put me here. In this particular move, when we came over here, so much had changed for me. Not only did we move locations, we moved homes, we moved away from our family and our friends. We came to an area that we've never lived in the East Coast, so the people are different, though very welcoming, they're different. I also had to start a full-time job as well as start the church. Within 4 weeks, my dad was killed in a car accident. So that was October 11 of 2020. At Christmas Eve of 2020, I caught COVID, the original strain, yuck. And by mid-January, I had resigned my full-time job that I had here. It was all too much. It was all too much. There was too much to grieve. And so that started my journey on therapy in a new way. I've had opportunities to have therapy in like settings where it's like for like marriage or different things, but this was specifically for me as a pastor for what I was going through. And the therapist asked me to do the stress survey, and I looked back at the results and I was like, oh my goodness. So on this like score sheet, if you scored 150 points, you were about 50-50 chance of developing an illness, okay? And so then if you scored 300 or more, 90% chance you were going to have an anger explosion or blow up and just like wreak havoc on your life, basically, is kind of how I read it. And even more of a chance to develop an illness. So out of these 41 categories and those scorings, my score was 1,187. That was eye-opening to me. I am in the most stressful situation I have ever found myself in. And some of the categories are like lifetime, like has this ever happened? And so some of those scorings will never change, but all of the stuff that was happening right at that moment, it was too much for me. And what I call that is if you ever played pinball, I don't know if it still does it, but if something went wrong with the pinball machine, it would go on tilt, which means it wasn't working, it stopped all activity. And so that's what I always will say is, I went on tilt. Like I couldn't function anymore. And the way that the Lord showed up for me, specifically that I really remember in that season, is through therapy, which I am grateful. I am grateful. And now I just kind of do little like checkup sessions here and there, but I was going really consistently for a while, and just really grateful for that. And then I had a friend who was a prayer partner for me. It was a tough place that I was in here. She was battling cancer there, and it makes me want to cry now because since she has passed away, but those sweet texts that came when I really needed it, encouragement, somebody rooting me on, even though it was hard, and somebody who was also going through something really hard. It was like we could help heal one another. And I am so happy that she is in the presence of Jesus now, fully healed, fully whole. And since I have come through that tough season well. And again, I've said this to other people, but I am grateful for the losses that I've had, because I wouldn't be the kind of pastor I am without them. I wouldn't be the type of friend I am without them. I wouldn't be the type of sister or stepmom or wife or whatever without those losses. I am better because I came through them. And hard situations, grief of any kind, it's not something you can get over. You have to go through it. You have to go through it. And I know that God is there. Healing is available to us. He restores our soul. He restores our soul. So be blessed today, and I will see you next time.